What is going on, Kryptic crew? This is your boy Kryptic Flash here, bringing you guys our Week 7 team builder against Pokeprez and the Gettysburg Gumshoos. Before we get started, make sure you guys hit that like button down below. Also, subscribe if you're new to join the Kryptic crew. If you guys did miss last week's battle, we had an epic, a pretty epic win against Rising Star Dylan and the Richmond Raikous. We went, I won't spoil it. There'll be a link in the description. Go check it out. See how we got to the record that we have, which is a nice 4-2 crispy record, you guys. We had a huge win last week. We've been on a little bit of a win streak here, winning 3 in a row. I would love to keep that going. Streaks are meant to be broken, so hopefully that's not this week or the rest of the playoff or season, and hopefully into the playoffs. But we have a huge matchup this week against Pokeprez and his Gettysburg Gumshoos. As you guys can see, his team looks rather crispy up there. His record, I think, is 3-2, 3-3, something like that. Maybe 4-2. I don't know. He's got a pretty spicy record as well. So we have our work cut out for us. I'm gonna go over his team as always. Go over what he could be bringing, what threats he has on his squad, and then we'll go over what I'm bringing, all that shenanigans. So first up, this was not his first actual pick, but he did end up drafting Mega Manectric. I like to keep the Megas first just because I feel like they kind of lead the team. They're kind of like the captains. So we have this Mega Manectric here, who is a very fast Pokemon, base 135 speed, super nice special attack set too, meant to come in, hit you hard, get out, kind of a pivot type Pokemon with Volt Switch. Gets hidden power coverage, obviously. Also gets Overheat or Flamethrower, depending on which one he wants to go ahead and run, which kind of threatens out my Mega Metagross, Delmise, things of that nature. Super fast, hard hitting Pokemon. Very scary, intimidate ability once he Mega Evolves, and all of that good stuff. Next up is his Cresselia. Now, Cresselia is a very annoying Pokemon. They usually like to come in, set up, Calm Mind substitutes, Moonlight, Psychic, something, some kind of stab. It also gets Moonblast. But it is a very thick Pokemon. We do have a couple options to go ahead and deal with this Cresselia if he does bring it. I really hope he doesn't, but we have a couple options just in case. Next up is his Tentacruel. Now, Tentacruel is a very good rapid spinner. It could also set up Toxic Spikes if he wants to go that route. Gets Dazzling Gleam, Knockoff. It gets Knockoff, Giga Drain, Scald, Sludge Wave. It gets coverage, very nice coverage. Scald burns are always really annoying, so we need to be careful with this thing. It also has a very nice special defense stat as well, so it can be kind of a special wall if my good old friend wants it to. Next up is the Tapu Bulu. Now this was his first overall pick. This thing is a powerhouse, you guys. Choice Banded Grassy Terrain Woodhammer is taking lives. Like, we don't have, I mean, we have a Mega Aggron, obviously, that can pretty much eat hits. But even a Mega Aggron is taking over half from a Grassy Terrain Choice Banded Woodhammer. Like, he doesn't want to take 2. Nobody wants to take 1 or 2. So, like, this thing could put in the work if he gets the opportunity, and that's the plan, is to keep this thing from just kind of driving holes through my team. Also gets Horn Leech to get that recovery back from the Woodhammer, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Nature's Madness, like we saw in that Tapu Fini, that can just kind of do half to Mega Aggron and just be kind of a huge issue. I could see him running that just because of our Mega Aggron, but the Choice Banded Woodhammer is always in my mind and is very scary. Next up is his Regirock. Regirock is I think it's an underrated Pokemon. Not many people like it, but I think that like a Rock Polish Weakness Policy set could be pretty sweet. It's very bulky. It's a Rock Setter. He gets coverage with Drain Punch, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Earthquake, like things of that nature. He could be Rock Polish, yeah, Weakness Policy set, because he's pretty much always living one hit. A max, not a max attack, but a heavy slam from the Omega Egg Round is only doing about like 54% to this thing. So if he could get his weakness policy off, that could be kind of spooky and something we definitely need to watch out for. Next up is his Mudsdale. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Mudsdale. I believe this is another Rock Setter. It has that great ability in Stamina, which could be really annoying. It gets Heavy Slam. What else does it get? It gets Fighting Coverage with Superpower, I believe. I want to say that sounds familiar. But just the Stamina alone makes it a really nice defensive wall. Getting hit by a move and just raising its defense, and it could have some kind of setup set. I think it could possibly learn like Curse or something to raise its attack and stuff, so it could just be a powerhouse. So we need to watch out for that. This Ribombee, the Ribombee is kind of a nuisance. He's got, as you guys can see, he's got kind of a relatively slow team, except for Manectric, Tentacruel, and Ribombee. I could definitely see Sticky Webs being a thing this week, just to make sure that his Bulu, Cresselia, Dragon Dance, Scrafty, Electro, like things like that, Togekiss, Serene Grace, things like that outspeed my team. So that's something we need, definitely need to watch out for this week. We had to deal with it last week, but I think that this could potentially be another week where we see Sticky Webs, and if we do, we need to get rid of them immediately. This thing gets Bug Buzz, Moonblast. It's a really frail mon, but it's super fast. It's base 124 speed. So super fast. Fairy coverage, Bug coverage, Grass coverage. I think it learns Psychic. It could be a Quiver Dance set, I believe. I believe this thing does get Quiver Dance. I don't see him setting up because aside from Sticky Webs, this thing really doesn't touch my team a whole lot. But Sticky Webs are enough to, it's enough incentive to bring a Pokemon, just having the Sticky Webs ability. Next up is his Scrafty. Now Scrafty is very, very spooky. It could be a Moxie set to kind of get a sweep going if he can get a couple of the Dragon Dances going. Moxie's a thing. Intimidate is also really annoying. And then Shed Skin, so he can't be status. So I think that if you were to bring it, it would be a Moxie set, because this thing has potential to sweep my team if he does get a couple Dragon Dances up and then can get some attack boosts with Moxie. That could be super nice for him. But this thing gets Poison Jab, Iron Head, Knockoff, Stab Knockoff is always amazing. This is the better Pangoro in my opinion. I wish that I had drafted this thing instead of Pangoro. I have regrets about my draft. I'm not gonna get into it now, but I have regrets. I'll probably get into it like after the season's all done. I'll talk about how we did, reflect on everything, and kind of go over everything. But not now, not now. Anyway, Scrafty, super cool mon. If he gets a couple Dragon Dances up, one Dragon Dance won't do it. He needs to get two. I even think we have an option for a +2 speed Scrafty. I think we have options. Next up is his Electrox. Now this thing could be physical, it could be special. Gets U-turn for pivot. Has the levitate ability for that ground immunity. I don't think that anything is super effective against this thing because of that that levitate ability. I think that makes it so that it's not weak to anything. Which is kind of spooky unless you have like a Mold Breaker EQ Pokemon, such as like Excadrill or something like that. But we do not. So this thing could definitely be a problem. It could run Flamethrower, Giga Drain, gets coverages in those areas. Also likes to run Volt Switch, U-Turn for Switch Initiative, Thunderbolt, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, like all the elemental punches. Like the coverage on this thing is kind of nutty. Gets Super Feint in case he wants to go ahead and take out half of my HP with Mega Aggron. That seems to be the theme just because Mega Aggron is so bulky. But yeah, this thing is definitely a threat. Next up is this Golisopod. Now Golisopod's attack stat is kind of nutty. It's huge. This thing hits like a truck. If he bans it, that could be something very scary. Banded Aqua Jet could be doing a lot. But this thing has that emergency exit ability. So, and that just, I don't know. I feel like the emergency exit ability just kind of hinders this thing a lot. Now granted, this thing gets first impression, it gets sucker punch, gets aqua jet, so has a lot of priority to go ahead and hit you. But once you get him back down below, now I could see him running a citrus berry to kind of counteract the emergency exit from kicking in. That could be a thing, but definitely a slower Pokemon. I think now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't really plan too well for this Golisopod. I don't think that he can touch a couple of our Pokemon. So if he does bring it, which I don't know if he would, because we've got Terrakion, we've got Nihilego, we've got gosh darn Mega Aggron. Like, those are things that I don't think that he can touch. If he wants to go for a sucker punch on Terrakion, he can give me my justified boost. Aqua Jet is not a one shot, I don't believe. But I don't know if he'd bring it. If he does, I think we could figure out a way to get around it, for sure. Next up is this Togekiss. Togekiss doesn't have the highest base speed. It's about a base 80, I think. 80 or 85, something like that. But it does have the Serene Grace ability, making its air slashes flinch. It also has access to Flamethrower and Fire Blast, which are just super powerful fire moves. In case I want to go into Mega Aggron, he can hit me with a Fire Blast. This thing also has potential to set up with Nasty Plot. I could definitely see a Nasty Plot subset coming, which could be kind of spooky. Last up is his Snorlax. Now Snorlax, Belly Drum Snorlax is scary. Curse Snorlax is scary. Any kind of Snorlax is scary because this thing is just a thick Pokemon. It can take hits and dish out some mean body slams to get some paras and just do a lot of damage. It could be a rest sleep talk set. Definitely could see that coming. But definitely something to watch out for. Now he has 2 Z crystals in the Steelium Z and the Rockium Z. Those I don't think threaten my team too much just because we have the Mega Aggron. But I could see him tacking Steelium Z on Mudsdale, or I don't know. I think Mudsdale is really the only Pokemon that learns a decent Steel type move in Heavy Slam. He could rock Rockium Z on what, Snorlax, I think Electros, Scrafty, Mudsdale, Regirock, and those are about it. So the Rockium Z I think is a little more likely than Steelium, but that's either here nor there. I'm not too worried about either of them, just because I think that we always have a switch in with Mega Aggron to his threats. Now granted, Mudsdale is probably going to threaten out Mega Aggron pretty nicely just because it has the stamina ability. But I actually think he could be bringing that thing. I haven't put too much thought into what I think he could be bringing, besides like 1 or 2 mons, 2 or 3 mons. But I'm going to go over my team and then we'll talk about what he could be bringing. So first up, you guys, I bet you guys can guess who is our first Pokemon. It is your boy Juggernaut. Juggernaut here. I didn't click it. Show up, Juggernaut. There you are. Boom. Juggernaut on Mega Aggron. Has come every week. Very reliable wall. Filter ability is amazing. Heavy Slam to hit everything hard. Hits Tapu Bulu hard. Hits the Regirock hard. Hits the Ribombee hard. Hits freaking Togekiss hard. Like, Heavy Slam is so good. Juggernaut is a freaking tank and will annihilate anyone with Heavy Slam. We also have the EQ for the Mega Manectric. The gosh darn Regirock, it's hitting that thing too. I probably won't go for it on Regirock, but I can. It's mostly for the Mega Manectric. In case this thing wants to kind of 1v1 me, we can go ahead and do that. Super power for the gosh darn Snorlax. Because this thing, I can imagine walls Snorlax pretty nicely. And we can go ahead and get some major damage off of superpower. Roar for that gosh darn Cresselia. If he wants to go ahead, set up subs, set up Calm Minds, go for it. I will just roar you out and get rid of all that stuff. I do not want Cresselia setting up on our Mega Aggron. Mega Aggron doesn't touch Cresselia too much, which makes it a perfect Pokemon to go ahead and start setting up on. So we can just go ahead and roar that Cresselia out, as well as that Togekiss. If he wants to get +2 or something, when Nasty Plot, we just roar him out. So that is something I'm teching this week. I also have, you'll see later, I'll go over it, but I think that roar could come in clutch. My main goal is to do a lot of chip damage to Cresselia. I don't have any mons that really want to go 1v1 against it, but I do have a lot of options for chip damage, which I think is going to be key against that Cresselia. Next up, we are bringing our Lady Lily, our Nihilego, rocking a modest choice scarf set. Now I have just enough speed on this thing to go ahead and outspeed a max speed Mega Manectric with the choice scarf. If he brings a scarfed Ribombee, that thing will outspeed me, but Ribombee doesn't do much to a Nihilego. We have special defense investment as well as full max special attack investment to go ahead and start guaranteeing some kills. I've only brought in Lily one time, and it didn't go so hot for us at all. I've got the Power Gem for the Ribombee, for the Togekiss. Obviously, it's just a good stat move. Sludge Wave is more for the Togekiss and Ribombee. It hits pretty much everything hard. If we can start getting some Beast Boosts up, guys, we can be doing some serious work. I brought Psychic for that Tentacruel. Looking back on it, I probably should have put Psyshock on this thing, and I might make that change. Just because Tentacruel has a better special defense than physical defense, so Psyshock would be doing more. And then Dazzling Gleam for the Scrafty in case he wants to set up a +2 Dragon Dance Scrafty. I don't think outspeeds our Lily. It'll be I need to calc it and see what kind of craziness he could be running, but I don't think that a +2 Scrafty will be outspeeding Lily. If he gets +1, that's fine. We did just go into Lily and Dazzling Gleam and get our Beast Boost and just one-shot this thing. But I think that Lily can put in a lot of work. Rock and Poison really threatens this team this week. The Bulu does not want to take a Sludge Wave. Even if it's the Poison Berry Bulu, it still is not wanting to take a Sludge Wave. Next up, we have our boy Latios. Now, Latios has been putting in the work for us. These past 2 weeks, we brought him. We're rocking a Timid, not a Mind Plate set. I want to be rocking a Life Orb set. I will be putting a Life Orb on this thing with Draco Meteor, Psyshock for that Tentacruel, for Draco Meteor just to kind of hit everything hard, Recover for recovery, and then Defog to get rid of Sticky Web. So this thing is going to be kind of my, like it was last week, our Sticky Web kind of solution. So if he wants to set up Sticky Webs, it won't affect Latios. Latios can come in on one of his slower mons and just kind of get some nice defogging off. I could come in on Tentacruel easily. Tentacruel is not doing much to a regular Latios. We have the Recover to get our recovery back and just threaten him out with a Psyshock. Go for a defog. If he wants to stay in, that's fine. We just Psyshock and kill that thing. But Spearmint is our main solution to that Tentacruel. I might not be teching Psyshock on Nihilego just because we have it on Spearmint. I totally forgot about that. But we'll see. That'll be a game time decision. That'll be a game time decision that we make. Next up, we have your boy Dembrows. Now, Dembrows has been waxing, plucking, getting them brows nice and perfect for this match. Nice and fiery and hot. Gonna be rocking an Adamant Choice Banded Nature. Gonna be hitting like a freaking truck, you guys. Sheer Force ability. U-turn for pivot ability. Flare Blitz just to smoke things like that Bulu. Like that freaking Golisopod doesn't want to take a Flare Blitz. Nothing wants to take a Flare Blitz. I guarantee you, nothing wants to take a Flare Blitz. Even Mega Manectric doesn't want to take a Choice Banded Flare Blitz. Superpower for that Regirock. For that freaking, gosh darn Snorlax over there. Rockside smoking Togekiss, Golisopod, Ribombee. everything. Nothing wants to take a Rock Slide from a Choice Banded Darmanitan. This thing is going to be putting in so much work. I have enough speed in this thing to go ahead and outspeed a max invested Cresselia, which means it'll be outspeeding max, unless he's Scarfed Togekiss, we'll be outspeeding that thing, getting some nice Rock Slides off. I could see a Scarfed Togekiss coming just because he has kind of a slower team and needs to be able to outspeed our Pokemon to get his flinches off. But then we just go straight out into Nihilego and go ahead and Sludge Wave that thing and just body it. So, very nice Bruin Denbrowse. I really like Darmanitan. I want to use him more. I've been kind of opting for more different kind of offensive pressure, but I think that Darmanitan puts on a lot of pressure to my opponent's team this week. I think that he will be, I think that he has potential. Him or Nihilego have potential to be the MVPs of this match. I'm making a bold claim. I'm doing it, but I'm sticking by it. I think that they have potential to be the MVPs of this match. Next up is our current MVP, our beauty queen. Now, I love Primarina. I love Primarina. Primarina pretty much walls that Cresselia. Moonblast is doing a decent amount. It's enough to go ahead and break the sub if he wants to go for subs. Toxic to go ahead and put it on a timer. Scald to go ahead and hit things like Regirock, Mudsdale. Even Scrafty doesn't want to take a Scald. Obviously, Moonblast is better, but just dual stab is all you need on Primarina, because Primarina's special attack is nuts and will do damage to everything, and nothing wants to take a Scald. I haven't been running Hydro Pump just because I hate lower accuracy moves. I hate having to rely on a move having to hit. That's why with Darmanitan I opted over Rock Slide over Stone Edge, just because I hate that possibility of missing. Having your game ride on a move that has a chance to miss and could cost you the game, I don't like to do that. I don't like running that. But protect the Scout, and obviously to get some leftovers recovery if we need that. But yeah, I really like this Beauty Queen set. I think that it's enough to handle a Cresselia, even if he wants to go ahead and start setting up Calm Minds. He can go ahead and do it. I'm going to Toxic it and then try to get into a ground to go ahead and roar him out. Or into our last Pokemon, our boy Grumpy Lumps here, our Hippowdon. Hippowdon is teching the Earthquake for Strong Stab, Whirlwind, Stealth Rock, and Slack Off to go ahead and get recovery. Whirlwind, obviously, again, for the Cresselia. You guys, I don't want Cresselia setting up subs and Calm Minds. So that is why I'm bringing a Roar in Mega Aggron and Whirlwind in Grumpy Lumps. Even if he wants to go, Grumpy Lumps is a little more geared towards Regirock, because if we go for some kind of a move to go ahead and give him his weakness policy and he Rock Polishes, Grumpy Lumps can live a hit and then Whirlwind him out to reset his stats. So that's more Grumpy Lumps. Position is more for the Regirock rather than Cresselia, but has we could just easily do the same to Cresselia. Stealth Rocks, I want to get rocks up early to go ahead and start, because we're relying so much on phasing. I do want to get rocks up early. I'm very torn on who our lead should be. Part of me wants to lead Hippowdon to go ahead and get rocks up, but then the other part of me is predicting that Ribombee to lead with the Sticky Webs, and I really don't want Sticky Webs, so I need something that's gonna just body that thing, and I think that Nihilego could be that Pokemon. But we'll see. I'm very torn on who our lead should be. I think that he is bringing, I think that we have the squad to beat his team. If he brings Golisopod, we need to play very careful around that, because that thing's got priority. It's got, actually, the more I talk about it, the more I think he could actually bring it. It's got coverage in Brick Break and Rock Slide, Rock Tomb, Liquidation, freaking First Impression for Latios. Like, I think that the more I talk about it, the more I could see this thing coming. And then the more I think that Mega Aggron is actually the perfect Pokemon for Golisopod. Part of me is wishing I ran, instead of Earthquake, I ran Stone Edge or Rock Slide to go ahead and hit that thing super effective. But I think that we have placed a maneuver around it. I don't think he's one-shotting a Nihilego, and we could just go for Sludge Wave and do a whole lot of damage, or Power Gem. Obviously, we have Power Gem for Golisopod, so we could do a lot of damage there. I don't think he's living a Power Gem. I don't. But I think that his brains, I think, could be Cresselia. I think Tentacruel matches up pretty nicely against my team. Bulu obviously matches up really nicely. Pretty much hits everything hard. What else could be? Ribombee for that that nice setup of Sticky Webs. If he brings Ribombee, I could definitely see him bringing Togekiss, because if he gets Sticky Webs up, Togekiss will start outspeeding things and being able to get craziness off with his nice Serene Grace ability. That ability is so I hate it. Like, relying, I'm not gonna get into it. I just hate Serene Grace very much. I hate it with a passion. It's OP in my opinion. It's way too good. I really wanted to draft Jirachi this league and go ahead and mess with Serene Grace myself, but I didn't because I wanted Mega Egg Round. But that's neither here nor there. That's kind of irrelevant. But then I could see Golisopod making an entrance. I don't think he brings Snorlax. I think that Mega Egg Round walls that pretty well, as well as Hippowdon. Electros, I could see if he wants to bring it for Primarina. That's fine, but then we just go into Grumpy Lumps, and Grumpy Lumps is thick, so even a Giga Drain isn't going to be doing that much. Scrafty I could possibly see, because it matches up against things like Heliolisk, Terrakion. Terrakion would kill that thing. Nihilego if he gets some Dragon Dances up. Gardevoir and Primarina if he's got the Poison Jab. Pangoro obviously is not handling Scrafty, so I could see a Scrafty coming. It matches up pretty nicely against my squad. But I don't know. You guys. I don't know what to think about this week. Pokeprez is a very, very good battler. We've been on a hot streak right now, but hopefully we can keep all of this good juju mojo going for your Minnesota Lycanrocs, and hopefully we can pick up the W this week. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of the team we brought. If there's any changes you think should be made, or things we should watch out for, things of that nature. And most importantly, let me know if you guys think that we are going to pick up the W, because of course we are. We are the Minnesota Lycanrocs. We are on a win streak right now. We are the red hot team in the PBL. With that, I am going to go ahead and get up out. I'm hyped. I hope you guys are hyped. The match is going to be hyped. And this is Kryptic Flash. I love you guys. I'm out.